No, Mark's not here. I won't let him in.
Hey, here
There
I
we
am.
go. There he is. There he is. How we doing, Cowboys Nation? Thanks for joining us here on Mad Cowboys Disease, here to talk about a lackluster Sunday, but a somewhat exciting Monday. If you want to talk about the new addition to the Dallas Cowboys, not necessarily the name we were looking for, but hey, it's better than nothing. It's nice to see them make some type of moves. But Mark, I
Yeah.
think we'll start with oh look, my headphones died. This is how prepared we are tonight. This is something special. We'll start with Sunday because I went to Zips with Gavin, expecting to maybe be there for, I don't know, an hour,
Yeah.
hour and a half, just go have a beer or two, have a couple appetizers, and then take off. But no, 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 no. The Cowboys had to make an absolute mess out of it.
Yep.
They needed a game-winning drive in the fourth, and they walked away with a win. With a win. My dad always says, "A win is a win is a win is a win." And they're 10-3, sitting in second place in the NFC East still. So, I mean, can we be mad about it, or are we, just gonna let this one? It's a blip on the radar.
Yeah. I mean, I was. I wouldn't say disappointed. I, you know, I like seeing them win, no matter how they do it. But I mean, everyone all week was saying this is going to be a blowout. Vegas was giving them a 17-point spread, which is
Oh
unheard
yeah,
of. They're going in hot, playing against a one-win team. You're expecting them to, this game to be over at halftime, and Dak and Zeke and all those guys have their ball caps on, and we're seeing a lot of Cooper Rush. So for them to come out just kind of flat and let this team just stick around all game, it
right.
just it was a little I wouldn't say concerning, but it was disheartening
Oh
because
yeah.
when you're expecting a result and you get a different result, you know, it's just a little confusing. But
You put up a 50 burger the week before on a
yeah,
somewhat
in
decent
one
team.
in one quarter.
Right, yeah. I mean, they put up how it was like 4 or
It was
5
30
touchdowns in
33
that
points in the fourth quarter.
fourth quarter,
Yeah.
and you're sitting there going, "Oh, man, next week." I mean, I was thinking the same thing, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Texans going, "This is the worst run defense in the league."
Yep.
Everybody can run on them. We've got the Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott combination. Just
They
thinking,
don't have
yeah,
a
this
quarterback.
yeah, they don't have a quarterback. They
Yeah.
barely have I don't even know. I don't remember if Brandon Cooks played. I'm pretty sure he didn't play.
No, he didn't.
And my biggest issue started at the very beginning of the game when they threw the ball 3 straight times to start the game.
Yeah.
And I get it. One of them was a play action, and I'm like, "All right, here we go. Yeah, we're gonna get 'em." They think they're gonna run all day, and they're getting ready to stack the box,
Yeah.
so we're just gonna
Try to
throw it
hit
over
him
the
with a
top
little
of them,
little
little quick
surprise.
hits and stuff like that. Yeah, but no, it was from that point on, I just thought, this isn't gonna be the game that I think it's going to be.
Can you say the same thing when they're down at the goal line, I think in the third quarter, and they ran the ball 5 times in a row and got stuck?
Right.
It's,
Uh,
it's
Mix it
like
up a little. I mean, I
like
guess
ah,
it's
tell
hard
him.
to sit there and be like, "Yeah, I'm making fun of them for not running the ball," and then they run the ball too much, and I'm gonna make fun of
Yeah.
them. You never do anything right, but it reaches a point where right there, that 4th down, especially the 4th and goal,
Yeah.
homeboy came off the edge, and Zeke barely was given the ball by the time that
Like,
guy was
can we
taking him
can we
down
run
behind the line.
can we run a quarterback sneak for a yard? Like that's all they
Yeah.
needed. Like Dak's a big boy. Let him put his nose down. He got a it was a I think it was a third down, big third down or fourth down actually,
Yeah.
where they ran a quick, quarterback sneak and he got like he only needed a yard. He got like three.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't like and we use what 3 or 4 tight end sets down there in the you can't run a little play action run. They know you're going to try to run the ball. You've done it 3 times in a row. Maybe on
Yeah.
that fourth time, run a little play action to Zeke and then hit one of your young tight ends on the corner of the end zone, you're good to go, brother.
Yeah, someone
But
in the flat, somebody running a curl, somebody running, a drag route
yeah,
across the middle. I mean,
I
it could
don't
have
understand
been.
it. The
I do it in
Texans
Madden all
knew,
the time. I don't
yeah.
understand what the difficulty is, 'cause
The Texans knew you were going to give the ball to 21 in that situation, and they did it 4 times in a row and got stuffed at the goal line. So yeah, that was frustrating. But then the Cowboys stuffed them on, on their goal line stand. I think it was, man, was it like 2 possessions later after the bad pick by Dak at and those interceptions. I just want to say this: like Dak's getting a lot of flack this year for how many picks he's throwing, and I can maybe count 2 or 3 of the 8 or 9 that he has where, okay, yeah, that's on Dak. He shouldn't have thrown in that. But most of them have been tip balls. Dak's getting hit in the pocket. His on both those plays, he hit his the first one. He hit Noah Brown in the hands. Granted, it was a little behind him, but he hit him in the hands. Noah Brown needs to catch that, tips it up, and the guy picks it off. And then the next interception, his arm gets hit as he's throwing, and ball just kind of fluttered for the guy, and that it goes onto the quarterback stats. But that I don't blame Dak
yeah.
for those 2 things.
The
That's a
one
good
that
pick.
I was upset about the most was the one where he tried to force it. I can't remember who the receiver was, but it was
Yeah,
just a quick 6-yard
he
turnaround.
got away
There
with one on that one. Yeah,
three players right there, and it was like, dude, I understand he can throw the ball hard, don't get me wrong, but you're not gonna fit
yeah,
it into that tight of a space when there's 3 guys around.
yeah. And
And I
granted,
like the gunslinger mentality. I miss
yeah,
Tony Romo. So I like having the gunslinger who's not afraid to let it rip and see, what happens. But sometimes you sit there and go, "Dude,
yeah.
that's just stupidity. That's not gunslinger. That's."
I think it's just he's trying to make a play. He's trying to be aggressive. He all he's heard this whole year is that when Cooper Rush was out there winning games, and oh, maybe we got a quarterback controversy, and then he gets back in there, and the goal line always moves for Dak. Like, can he win a close? Can he beat a good team? Can he play consistent through 4 quarters? Can he do? It's always like he knocks off something on the list, and they add something to it. It's always,
Right.
and that's the frustrating thing. Like, I'm not when Dak goes out there and makes stupid mistakes and bad throws, and I'm going to call him on it. But that kind of garbage just drives me nuts about it.
Yep. Sunday was definitely a little bit different for me though compared to some other games. I thought he pressed way too much
Yeah,
on Sunday. He was making poor decisions, throwing a lot of bad balls, not necessarily at defenders, but not really at his receivers either. That was the problem that
yeah,
I had. He was overthrowing guys, he was underthrowing guys, leading them too far, not or throwing it behind him. I just thought that was one of the most poor performances I've seen from Dak in a while.
yeah. But then he changes your mind in the last drive, and he takes him down the
Then we
field
know
for
what we're
98
getting,
yards. Yeah,
but I don't want that, Mark. I don't want to be under that sort of stress against a 1-10-1 team
I get it, man. I get
on
it.
a casual Sunday morning with my son at the bar. I mean, at a restaurant. I wasn't allowed to sit at the bar.
That was a cute picture you posted, by the way.
Oh, thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. Yes, he might be a bigger Cowboys fan than we are, and
Yeah,
that's
don't and
that's.
don't let Gavin hear you talking about Dak like that, dude.
Oh,
That's his boy.
he'll beat the shit out of me.
Yeah,
Speaking of Dak and his receivers, we've got a new one.
yeah,
We've added TY Hilton to the roster. I think a lot of people were expecting the Odell Beckham thing to work out, and it doesn't mean that it won't. Um, but I'm not mad about T.Y.
yeah,
Hilton. Um, Veteran wide receiver who's a 4-time Pro Bowler. At one point, I think in 2016, led the yard in leagues. Is that what I was about to say? Led the league in receiving yards.
yeah.
Um, I like it. He's not the burner that he used to be. He's had a lot of injuries, but to have him for the last 4 or 5 games plus a potential playoff run, and he's only gonna count for 800 grand against the cap just to fill
Yeah,
in.
that minimum, baby.
That's not a bad move.
Yeah,
I am okay
yeah.
with it.
I think everything that I heard about the Odell situation is that he was supposed to be ready at some point in December, and then they just kept pushing back that date. Well, and then I hear he's probably not going to play the regular season, but he should be back for the playoffs. And I think the Cowboys kind of they want Odell, and I think obviously they want him. They were selling the Cowboys to him all for the last 3-4 weeks now. But
Right.
I think looking at it, and the Cowboys just needed to add someone. Um, we don't necessarily know what we have in James Washington yet. I think that they want CD take a little pressure off CD. Gallup, I don't know if he's fully back yet. He's kind of hit and miss right now. Noah Brown's kind of he played well in the early part of the year, and then he's kind of digressed a little bit. So I think getting
Yeah.
a veteran guy in there like a TY Hilton that is going to take a little pressure off CD and hopefully give Dak an option on the outside because he's been throwing the ball in the middle of the field way too much, and I think that's where you see a lot of those like forced
Yeah.
passes because the middle of the field is all gunked up with linebackers, safeties. He's throwing passes in the middle a lot to his tight end, to CD. They're trying to get him the ball with open field. But if you have a guy on the outside that's going to take at least run down the sideline and take a little pressure off that middle of the field area, then I think T.Y. Hilton's a good option there.
Right. Yeah, somebody to stretch the field. That's something a problem that we saw on Sunday was, the safeties for the Texans were not scared of anybody running beyond them. Cornerbacks playing didn't see a lot of press coverage. They're just letting them sit in front of them and go up and make a
Yeah,
play once the ball was released. So it'll be nice to have somebody who, again, not the same speedster that he used to be, but somebody who can still get vertical.
yeah.
At least I think so. I don't think they would have brought him out there if they didn't think he had the chance of.
No, listening to Mike McCarthy, he said, he's been working out all year. He's been keeping his body ready, so he's in shape. They did a physical on him, so he should be good to go. Just about getting some reps with the playbook, with Dak and getting his nose in the playbook, and he should be good to go
Right.
by. I'm guessing by Sunday at least. Should see him out there at least for 5-10 snaps.
Yeah, I
Just get
think
his
I
feet
think
wet.
Sunday will be a fairly simple TY go run far,
Yeah,
and we'll go from there. Go run some verticals,
yeah. And
some
Ty is
deep posts
always
and stuff like that, and allow us to open it
he's
up a
always
little
been a
bit.
good route runner too, which is one of the things I
Right.
liked about Ty is he's the kind of guy that is quick, he's shifty, and he runs the route tree, the whole route tree, not just these digs and slants and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So
It'll be nice to
um,
have that too for CD and Michael Gallup. They're still 2 fairly young guys,
yeah,
and to have a veteran in there to it's that playbook is not that simple.
no,
So to have a guy who could go in there and read, oh, I see what we're doing here. This is,
yeah,
take the safety out of this position so that somebody can hit this open area and this, that, or the other. If they're running a zone or they're running man,
yeah,
it'll allow the younger guys to learn a little bit more and have that veteran presence in the receiving room. I'm looking forward to it. And then seeing, from there, hopefully getting this offense going to take a little bit of pressure off the defense. I don't think the defense
that
played particularly bad. I was expecting a lot more out of them. Again, you go up against a 1-10 team, you expect
yeah.
just
They
an
got a little
absolute stat day.
they got a little pressure on Davis Mills and Jeff Driscoll, but they didn't have any sacks. They I think they forced 2 turnovers, and one of them was a pick at the end of the game, so I don't even really count that. But
Yeah.
it's just a rough day in the office when your offense just isn't clicking, and then your defense isn't doing what they have been doing all year. So you had to go out and put a 98-yard drive to put them away. But you hope for the blowout, but you'll take the win.
Yeah, it
So
is what hopefully it's a little bit of a wake-up call because, I
yeah,
mean, Jacksonville's been playing pretty well.
they just put it
That's who
on
we have.
Tennessee there.
Yeah, that's who we have on Sunday, so we make sure that they come out and play well and hopefully finish the season, just keep doing what they're doing, man. You gotta keep up with Philly if they wanna win the division.
Yeah,
I have a super I mean, actually, to be honest, as much as I would love the first round bye, I really don't know if I have a problem going into the playoffs knowing I'm playing a below 500 division winner from the NFC South.
that's the thing. I keep going through it in my head because I hate that Philly is probably going to win this division. Granted, there's 4 games left, anything can happen, but you kind of like where you're at the 5 seed going against
Yeah.
whoever decides to win the South because you know the Bucks are hit and miss. Atlanta was leading the division for a while, and they I don't know what they're doing. Maybe Carolina, Baker Mayfield, could get in there and make it interesting, but no one seems to want to win the South. So you kind of like where you're at playing that 4 seed.
Well, Baker's not there anymore.
Oh, did he? Oh, he went to the Rams. I forgot.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
went to LA. Now
So,
now it's Sam Darnold.
Darnold's back in.
But yeah,
So,
I mean, if you look at that too, the other situation too, so we would be the highest remaining seed from or not the highest remaining, but potentially the lowest seed remaining if things go the way that they're supposed to. 2 beats 7, 3 beats 6.
mhm.
And if the Cowboys beat 4, then we would get the Eagles in the
Yeah.
second round. And that would just I mean, it sets up for something so fun, potentially fun that I kinda
Oh,
want it to go that way.
yeah.
Both the Commanders and Giants are right behind the Cowboys right now the second wild card. So as
Yeah.
long as, one of them tapers off and we take care of business against the Commanders at the end of the year, I don't think there's a way that they jump us to the top spot, but that would
Yeah.
also mean that we've just done poor things over the last 5 weeks of the season, 4 weeks of the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're almost there, dude. It's crazy. We have a month left.
I know, man. And then get into playoffs and draft, baby. Draft
Oh,
time.
yeah. Mark's favorite time of the year.
Oh yeah. Hey,
All right.
what do you
Hey,
real quick?
yeah, go for it.
Are you a little worried about our old line now that we lost Terrence Steele, or are you
I
okay
thought
with?
Josh Ball filled in admirably, but that was
Eh,
also, again, if you wanna bring up the idea that we played a 1-10-1 team, 1-10-1, don't forget
yeah,
the kissing the sister game. Um, it hurts. It definitely hurts because he has played lights out
yeah,
all season.
absolutely, yeah. You feel for
So
him. I hope for a swift recovery there because he's one of those unsung heroes of this season. Going into the
well,
year, you
you
you were
know what
not
the
sure.
benefit is, and I don't know how easy this is you're the lineman guy, you can tell me if it's easy or not. Tyron Smith is supposed to make a return here pretty soon. So
Yeah,
it's not absolutely the worst thing that Tyron comes back and either he or Tyler Smith shift over to right tackle.
I could see that. I could also
Is that
see Jason Peters shifting over to right tackle.
St. Peters too? So again, yeah, I thought Josh Ball played well. I'd like to see where the season goes and maybe have him play next weekend against Jacksonville. Maybe him and Jason Peters kind of rotate out.
Yeah,
Um, get Peters some more work over there. Let Josh Ball keep working over there, and go from there. 'Cause after that, there's Tennessee, Philly, and Washington, and I would prefer that. I'd rather have a veteran in there going against Chase Young or whoever's on the
yeah,
left side of the Commanders defense, or having to deal with Fletcher Cox and the rest of the
yeah,
Eagles defensive line. But
yeah. I think Tyron's really close. I mean, if he doesn't play this week, then I'm guessing that he's going to play next week. And
yeah,
what I think they're going to do is put Tyron in at left tackle and shift. Tyler Smith into guard, and then probably play, maybe do that rotation like you said with Ball and Jason Peters on the right, just to see which one plays better. Because Jason Peters, he hasn't played a full game this year. He's kind of been a
Yeah.
rotation guy, which I don't really like the rotation on the O line, but he's a savvy veteran that they put into situations where they need just a road grader out there. And
Yeah.
I thought Ball did decent, but he didn't really blow me out of the water, and
No.
with his plays. So it was just kind of eh. Jason Peters was the guy that came in for that 98-yard drive that I keep mentioning, that they wanted no part of Ball out there when they needed to drive down the field.
When they
So
actually needed to win.
yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of shows you right there that what they thought of him. So
Well, good. Then, maybe that's what'll happen next week. Peters will be in, and when they feel comfortable to let Ball go out there and get some snaps in, then that's what'll happen.
yeah. All right, buddy. Sorry, I had to segue there for a minute.
You're not bothering me. Well, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys joining us. Make sure to follow us on the handles down here, over there, at Trady Warren, at Boyton78. What does that guy do? What's his name from The Voice? Blake Shelton.
Oh, Blake
That guy.
Shelton.
Yeah, Blake Shelton. This is a fresh buzz right before the show. I had to look good
Ooh,
for everybody.
I got a little hat
Um,
hair right now.
yeah.
Ugh.
I don't have to worry about that sort of thing,
Yeah.
but it's by choice. I could totally grow out my hair. Anyways, we're venturing off again. Love you guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you after Jacksonville. Peace out.
Take it easy, y'all.